This is Matt for Into Boxing, and I'd like to be joined by super welterweight Kieron Conway. Kieron, how's things going? Have you had a good Christmas and New Year?
Yeah, Christmas, New Year's been good. I've enjoyed myself a little bit because I've got a little bit of time out of the ring, to be honest. Got to have some surgeries on my hands. I've had some injuries for a long, long time, and it's been affecting my fights, my training for 4 years now. But because I just keep getting like opportunities, I've been pushing it back. Next fight, I'll get it done. Next fight, I'll get it done. But now, for me, I definitely need to get them done. They're affecting me too bad, and I'm in high level fights. So now it's time to get it sorted. Booked in. Just it's a bit of a waiting game now, and it's a little bit of a weird period for me because of that. There's not much really happening. But yeah, enjoy myself over Christmas, New Year. What about yourself?
Yeah, can't complain. A lot of family time and just starting this new job. So it's been really good. To be fair, I have no complaints. Just come back to that what you just touched on. You mentioned your injuries and stuff like that. We'll talk about Christmas in a minute, but you mentioned you've had these injuries for a while now. What specifically is wrong with your hands and that you're having to get surgery on them for?
Oh, it's on one hand it's tendons, on another hand it's my wrist. But that's the short version anyway. But yeah, I've had them for so long, and I just need to get them done. They affect me so bad. I find myself pulling punches all the time. No confidence to let my hands go at all, and I very rarely hit anything in training. Very rarely.
I'm just about to say, if you're fighting, especially at that level, I mean, we'll talk about your 2021 in a bit, but it must have a big effect if you're, sort of second thinking, throwing a certain shot because you're worried that your hands will, either explode or go in certain places. How much of that have you put down to maybe not in your last performance, but that the fight in the States and stuff like that? Can you like feel that pain all the way through the fights then, and you sort of second guessing yourself all the time?
Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it all every single time my hand hits anything. Like, so I don't even do pads to warm up or anything like that. Don't do pads in training. Nothing. No bags. So it's just one of them things that you need to get sorted. There's no excuse for performance, but because it's my fault, I should have got it done a long time ago. But now time's here, so it is what it is. Get it done, and I'm looking forward to being able to get back in there and putting on real displays of boxing and showing my punch power and like the heavy hands that I have. Because to be fair, when I get sparring gloves on, it's a little bit less, and I can go for it. I can go through the gears a bit, let my hands go. But as soon as I get them little pro fight gloves on, it's different game, and it is what it is, though. It is what it is.
So, in terms of, you mentioned the injury stuff, but in terms of having a bit of a break because you don't know when the surgery is going to be, was it? And a lot of boxers, obviously, apart from heavyweights, when they get to Christmas time, they're still under a bit of a strict diet, maybe not to go a bit crazy, because obviously everyone lets themselves go at Christmas. But being athletes, you guys, I suppose, are under a bit more scrutiny. So, was it nice maybe for you to have that break so you can recharge and just enjoy it, really?
Yeah, it was a weird one because I am big. I am big for the weight. I walk around heavy, and I was trying not to get too heavy. That didn't really work out too well. But because I got caught into two mindsets. All of it, like through when it got to December or mid-December, I was like, But to be honest with you, after my fight, I didn't let myself go too much. I was still training, still doing what I can do, still doing my like conditioning, my running, and I still shadow box like 2 hours a day, and I was still doing those things. I was still training once or twice a day, and by the time it got to December, I was sick of not fighting. I just wanted to get a fight, want to get a date, even though I obviously can't. And my mindset just changed. I just wanted to stop everything else except fighting and training. I wanted to get back to work. So I was in a weird mentality over there. I was like stuck between, I'm trying to turn off, click the off switch a little bit, but I couldn't. And I was just a little bit stuck. and I am now as well. Like, no, I'm not stuck now. I'm fully on it, even though I've got no date. Just fully on it, doing what I've got to do, and that's it. There's nothing else, no distractions, and I'll be more than ready when I'm ready.
So are you potentially looking at like the back end of this year coming on, middle to back end, and once you've had your surgery? Because obviously with how the world is with COVID and everything now, things are getting pushed back. So have you been given any indication on when you can get these hands done?
Yeah, they're getting done this month. So hopefully it's not too bad. Yeah, but obviously being out the ring since early October, and then it could be a couple months from now. So it's still a long time out of the ring. But we'll just have to see what's what. Like fighters, we always think that it'll only be 8 weeks. We'll be ready in 8 weeks. But obviously you've got recovery time for your hands, and you've got rehab, then you've got camp. So we'll have to see what goes on. But as I'd like to get out as soon as I can, as soon as I'm ready, as soon as my hand's ready, and I can let it go with confidence, then I'll be out.
Absolutely. You had a strong end to 2021. You beat JJ Metcalf. I spoke to you, I think, before that in the few weeks leading up to it. You talked about your performance in America, how you weren't happy for it. And I think you said something like, even my dad had beat me that night or something. How pleased were you with the Metcalf performance in comparison to your display in America?
I'm not going to lie. I had 2 fights in 21, and I weren't happy with either at all. Like the last fight, I was not happy with at all. Like I've left the ring, went back, and I was disappointed. I should be putting bigger statements out than that. And I know what I'm capable of, and this is another reason why I need to get my hands sorted. Just so I've got the confidence to do the things that I can do a little bit more. Yeah, I weren't happy. 21 weren't good year for my performances. I think I've had better in the past. In the past year, the year before that, I think were much more eye-catching performances. And yeah, but this year I'm getting. We're gonna get some real good stuff going. Make sure I'm right, and yeah, big things come from me. I'm hoping to grab some more titles this year, potentially the British title at either weight, super welter or middleweight. I'm open to both, and I'm big enough. I'm bigger than most of them middleweights anyway. Like, I don't think people really realise how I am a big guy, and when I get in, they're gonna get shocked. So yeah.
When I saw you in Liverpool, I didn't realise what a big thick set you are. You are big for the weights. That particular card as well had some potential rivals on it for you. Obviously, I think Cheeseman fought, or you just fought in Metcalf, and obviously Fowler and Smith were in the main event. I think Fowler's moving up a weight after that, and I think Liam Smith looks like he's fighting Jesse Vargas. I think I don't know if COVID's pushing that back, but I'm sure Eddie's trying to sort that out. So what would you like to do next? Obviously, you mentioned titles. There's obviously Troy Williamson would be a big fight for you. Ted Cheeseman's still a big fight for anyone. He was brilliant in that fight. Where are you wanting to go? Are there any names you look at and think, you know what, that would be the fight to sort of bring the best out of me?
I'm not going to turn down a fight because I don't see that I'm in any sort of position to do that. Like I didn't come from much. I weren't a big amateur. Like I weren't in the Olympics. I didn't do that. So I don't turn down the fights. Like I was scheduled to fight Jesse Vargas in Texas on that date that I fought there. So I don't turn down the fights, and that was him that pulled out of that fight, not me. I was ready to go, and obviously, Fowler's moved up to middleweight, and I'm available for middleweight or super welterweight. It doesn't matter if the fight's there, I'm taking it. And if there's a title on the line, even more bonus for me.
Absolutely. When you look at sort of the world level scene, obviously you mentioned British and stuff like that, but your ambition will be to go and smash through ceilings to get through to that world level. Now, I'm right in saying I think Jermell Charlo has got 3 of the 4 belts, and Brian Castano, I think they had a draw the last fight and they're running it back. I think that's the plan or whatever. Who do you see as top dog out of them two? Do you think Charlo's number one in the division?
Yeah, he probably is. He probably is. But again, I think he's overrated. I think he's overrated himself, overhyped himself. I don't think he's that much, to be fair. Like, that fight gets offered to me, I'm taking that fight as well, and I'm going there thinking I'm winning, 100%, 100%. People don't understand what I am capable of, and it's only when you're in there with me you'll see how crafty I can be. And like, if I have to smother your work for me to win, I'll smother the work. If I have to box to win, I'll box and I'll win. And when these hands get sorted, if I have to stick it on you, I'm sticking it on you. And I'm gonna come this year, and years come in, I'm gonna make a real big impression on boxing.
He's obviously, he fights in the States predominantly. All his fights will be over there. Is that something you sort of earmark as, you know what, I want to go back to the States, put on a better performance, showing yourself, and if you can get a fight against the likes of a Charlo, I mean, he's a big name over there, and you think you'll be able to go over there and do a job on him?
Yeah, I'll go over there and I'll cause upsets all over the place. I'll do it here in the UK. I'm going to cause upsets. I'm going for them all now. I'm 25. I'm coming up to 26, and there's no holding back anymore. There's nothing like that. And yeah, I'm gonna cause havoc in super welterweight or middleweight division.
Yeah, you're in a blessed position really if you can move up and down. Just gives you more options, especially like we've mentioned there. Belts are going to be tied up, so we're waiting for them to have a rematch. Then, depending on what happens there, mandatory, blah blah blah, all the politics of boxing and all that. So you are in a good position where you can move up and down. So just before we sort of go and sort of leave it on that, I put together a little game, not really a game, but just a pick one or the other scenario. So
yeah,
just for something a bit different, chucked a few things together. Yeah. So I'll get it started. You ready?
Yeah.
Glass half full or empty?
Full.
Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Netflix.
Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Robinson?
Muhammad Ali.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee all the time. Coffee.
Oh no!
I love coffee. I have about 6 a day.
Do you? What do you have? Are you one of these like flavoured coffees, like lattes and all that?
I'm not. Do you know, I really like instant coffee. Really like it.
Yeah.
I'll go Starbucks and I'll go just get their plain normal Americano as well. Like I love that sort of thing.
Jesus, you must be like buzzing from morning to night.
Yeah, I am actually.
Wine or beer?
Beer.
You have to think about that. Are you partial to a bit of wine?
I don't actually drink that often, so it was a hard one for me.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Yeah. Las Vegas or New York?
Vegas.
Is that, if you had to choose where to fight, would that be where it is, MGM or something like that?
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao?
Floyd Mayweather.
Eddie Hearn or Bob Arum?
Eddie Hearn. I don't know how well it'd go if I said Bob Arum there.
You know what? I threw one in there just thinking it'd trip you. Got one last one anyway. Jake Paul or Conor McGregor?
Jake Paul.
What? Really? Jake Paul?
In a fight?
Just pick one or the other. What do you think about if they fought? Tell me that then. Because obviously, I'm sort of, don't ask everyone about him, but in this, because we've done it, I may as well ask you. You didn't even think about it before, but if them two fought, what do you think? Boxing rules, obviously.
I probably would go with Jake Paul. I think he's massive. He's a big guy, and McGregor is off the ball. Like, he's doing whatever he's doing. I'd have to say Jake Paul. I genuinely would. I think a lot of boxers would say that. If you ask them that question, I think a lot more would say that than what you expect. He's a big man.
What do you think? Everybody says, I like getting, we say, professional boxers, or, you know, ones who, obviously, he's technically a professional boxer, but for other people who've like gone through the amateurs, come through, I'd love to get their opinion on what he's doing. Obviously, he's bringing a lot of ice to sports. And now that he's I suppose he tried to have the Tommy Fury fight. Looks like he'll go back to that. What do you make of him and his role in the sport that he's doing now? Would you like him more if he fought, like, if he fights Tommy Fury or starts putting together a few professional wins? Would that be sort of good to say, yeah, fair enough?
I don't really care who he fights. I think that I'm in admiration of the success that he's having financially for boxing. Like, and I can't be like bitter about it because it is what it is. Like I've said before, if somebody gave me the opportunity to go to a different sport and just piss everyone off and get paid millions for it and pretend I'm the best at something, I would do it 100%. 100%. So he's just took an opportunity. So I can't be bitter about that. Everyone's got to do their bit, and I'm not against it at all.
It's good to have another point of view because obviously you get what we call the hardcore and the casual fans, and a lot of people I know aren't very keen, but I suppose it is what it is. It's good to see and hear sort of the flip side to the coin from yourself. So we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, so you picked Jake Paul to beat Conor McGregor in boxing.
Yeah.
I think that's the sort of thing that could happen in the next few years. I think that.
Yeah, McGregor's probably not even stepped foot in a gym since his last outing, and he's he's not in shape.
I think he broke his I can't remember what he broke, but I think he's probably not 100%. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Jake Paul is. We can say what we want about him, and he is a knob, but he is working. He's working, and he is big compared to McGregor as well. He's a big man. That shot on Tyron Woodley was a heavy shot.
There's a lot of things going around about that saying it were fixed, and my sort of argument was, well, there'd be a lot of ways to fix a fight without getting absolutely like planted like that, because you could.
It landed big. It did big. I've seen a few angles. I've seen a close one, and the whack, the sound it makes, it's a heavy shot. To be fair, if he's fixed that and just went, you hit me as hard as you can. Fair play to him.
Yeah, you think there'd be an easier way to lose the fight, wouldn't you, than taking that?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not having that. I think that was legit, no matter what.
I think it's legit.
Anyways, right, Kieron Conway, thank you for talking to Into Boxing. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you back out. Hopefully, once your hands are fully healed and ready to go, and a big 2022 for you. So yeah, do you want to give a shout out to your sponsors or people who back you and stuff like that?
Yeah, 100%. I need to thank a local paving company, S&D Paving. They've followed me all the way since I was like 3 fights in. So they really supported me and kept things going for me. Have been like massive in my career. They're still there now, following, supporting every single time. And a Forex markets educational company called Financial Markets Online. They're so good at what they do, and they're really supporting me all the time as well. So I need to give thanks to those two companies specifically. And MTK have really looked after me. I think MTK being my management have really helped my career progress in the way that it has. I've been on big shows. I've had good opportunities, and I need to thank them a lot.
Absolutely. Well, long may it continue, and fingers crossed for a good new year, pal.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, man.
You too, bud. Catch you later.